Giannis is, but like, he's just Jason Tatum is an absolute. He's a phenomenal talent, and the Celtics are only gonna get better with him on their roster. That's all I'm going. Okay. Thanks to Jacob. Thanks to college football guy Jacob Gregg, I was made aware that the NBA is going to look to expand to make more teams, so that way they can make up some of the losses that they had, like during COVID. So that way they can basically make more money. Which, by the way, all professional sport, that's what all pro sports is about, is just making as much money as fucking possible. But bringing back at least two more whole-ass teams, like, if one of them, here's what I think. I would like to see a New Jersey team come back, but I don't think that's going to happen because the Nets were in New Jersey and they moved to Brooklyn that was 6-7 years ago. So it's probably not going to happen. And they already have 2 New York teams, and they have 3 Los Angeles teams, so that's not going to happen. Now, they said that there are 2 locations that they're looking to put teams on. One of them is Vegas, and I mean, I guess that makes sense because Vegas is Vegas is Vegas. But I would like to see, instead of Vegas, like a Hawaii team or like an Alaska team. I think that would be really cool, but that's just me, and I think that's probably not going to happen because Alaska's not a big enough market for anything. I mean, like Portland is one of the top 10 teams in the league, and Dame gets like no coverage because like he's in Portland. If he was on the Knicks or if he was like on like the Clippers or the Lakers or something, like he'd be one of the faces of the league right now, but he's just not because he's in Portland. But I think Alaska would be really cool because I think like you could be like the Alaska like the Alaska Mooses. That'd be really sick. I think personally, the Alaska elk or something like that. I don't know, or the Alaska like snowmen or like frost giants or something like that. Yeah. Shout out Jotunheim. If you know, the Jotunheim is the home of the frost giants. And while I'm on the subject of comic books, J.J. Abrams and the producers and creators of the original Batman the Animated Series are making a new Batman cartoon, and it's going to be absolutely fucking awesome. It's on HBO Max and I think something else, and Cartoon Network. It's going to be absolutely fucking awesome, and if Kevin Conroy comes back to voice it, I will get an HBO subscription to watch every single episode because like right now, whether people know it or not, the world needs a good Batman cartoon right now, whether the world knows it or not. And most people don't know that, but I don't want to get off topic, but a new Batman cartoon would be absolutely fucking amazing. So yeah, that's it. That's all I'm going with there. And I think the Hawaii team would be really sweet too, because just like, it's like Hawaii, man. Like who wouldn't want to go play basketball? Who wouldn't want to go play basketball in Hawaii? Like that's just fucking sick, But they're probably going to do Vegas. And what this also means for the league is that the other location that they're looking to put a team in is Seattle. So this marks the probable official return of the Seattle Supersonics. And if that happens, whoever goes there, which the Supersonics are going to immediately make the playoffs no matter who goes there, strictly because, like, the Supersonics just have the ability to make the playoffs because, shout out Gary Payton, and, like, it just, the Supersonics the league needs the Supersonics back because they need a team like that to put in commercials and to just kind of like advertise because like a lot of teams now are like are starting to like lose respect because like they're just doing so much load management on all of their players, and it's just so aggravating as like a watcher of basketball to see some of the best players in the league not play every single night because they just like because they don't want to get hurt or they don't want like fuck that, just fucking play like you're getting paid millions of dollars to go play basketball, dude. Like you're not going overseas to like fight terrorists. Like you're not like jumping out of planes. You're not like doing anything like life threatening. I mean, like I guess like you could very very badly injure yourself playing basketball. I completely understand that. And like guys like Kawhi probably like they're like, oh, well, like, I just don't want to get hurt. And then people probably tell him to go fuck himself, right? But then it's like, when you see guys like Klay Thompson and guys like Kevin Durant go down the way that they go down, then it's like, it's kind of like them sitting out is backed up because they're like, oh, well, look at Klay, look at KD. You know, look at Anthony Davis. Look at LeBron this year. So, like, look at Jamal Murray. So many guys have gone down with injuries that it's like, oh, well, like, maybe load management is a good idea because so many star players go down so easily with injuries. But it's like, no, dude, like, you still gotta play basketball. Like, you still have to. Dude, for those of you who didn't watch the Hall of Fame thing the other day, Vanessa Bryant like did one of the speeches for Kobe, and she was like, yeah, I asked Kobe to like not play one night, and he said no because what about the people who saved up all of this money to just come to one Laker game to watch me play? Like that's the type of mentality that players just don't have anymore. Like I was listening to Get Up, and they were talking about load management, and Greenberg was like, yeah, Michael Jordan on his last regular season game on the Chicago Bulls ever, they had already clinched the Eastern Conference by like 7 games, so it was absolutely fucking meaningless. And he played like, I think it was like close to like 38 minutes, and he had like 44 fucking points. Or he was like 42 minutes and 44 points. It was something fucking ridiculous like that. In a game that essentially had absolutely no impact or effect on the rest of the regular season because A, they won the championship anyway, B, they already clinched the Eastern Conference, and like there was no reason for Michael Jordan to play this game at all. They could have just sat him out and they still would have won the championship anyway. They still would have beat the Jazz. He still would have hit the shot. It wouldn't have mattered, but like he plays in the game anyway because that's just like what his job was, and he was getting paid to go play basketball. And it's just so mind-boggling to me that players just choose to, and like okay, like LeBron was coming back from this injury, and like he was like sitting out games because he wants to come back at full strength. I get that, and like KD was sitting out games, yeah. James Harden was sitting out games this year, cool. But like, if you're like Kawhi, like why the fuck are you like you're not injured? Like I don't know why you sit out game unless Kawhi has an injury that just nobody knows about. Like I don't understand why he chooses to sit out all of these games. The Clippers, if Kawhi is a top 10 player in the league, if he were to play every single game, the Clippers would probably be the 1 seed in the West this year, and they'd probably be the number 1 team in the NBA because Kawhi and Paul George are both really good players. Like they just straight up are. And it's just like I just don't understand as to why I just don't understand why players don't play. Like I mean, like I get it. I understand the concept of it, but like it's just kind of like fuck that, dude. Like you're getting paid. If I was getting paid fucking what, like $30 million a year to go play basketball, like, there's an absolutely, unless I was injured, there's absolutely no fucking reason why I should just miss time for my own personal, like, just own personal benefit. I mean, like, if I was injured, or if I had, like a huge family crisis, or like, that's it. Like, injury, huge family crisis. That is pretty much it. Like, I can't really think of anything else where I could have a legitimate reason to miss time. But yeah. That's my rant. That's my rant on load management, because I think it's absolutely fucking ridiculous. Okay. Oh, ad. Again, I don't really know if I'm supposed to do this or not, but I'm doing it anyway because blah. Spreaker.com allows you to create a profile for your podcast, and you can make the podcast whatever you want. You can make money off of it. You can promote it to other places. You can edit it how you like. You can distribute it to platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts and YouTube and SoundCloud and Google Play and Amazon Music and all that shit. And it lets you, it lets you make a podcast, which is nice, because without Spreaker.com, we wouldn't be able to bring you episodes of Below the Cap. So, thank you, Spreaker.com. We appreciate it. And yeah, that's it. Okay, second half of the show. And this one's gonna be quick. This is probably gonna be like, I'm probably only gonna go for like another 20-ish minutes, because I really don't want to be doing this for much longer right now. But we are doing an episode tonight, which is gonna be cool. So yeah, that's gonna be sweet. Okay. I'm gonna do both of these play-in games, but I'm really only gonna do LeBron and Steph. But I wanna go over Memphis and Spurs. John Morant is going to be one of the best players in the league he's going to be like a top 10 player in the league in like 10 years when everybody's gone. But right now he's not. And the Grizzlies, I think the Grizzlies are really going to get outplayed by the Spurs tonight, because Greg Popovich is the best coach in the league. And I mean, yes, congratulations, Monty Williams, for winning Coach of the Year. But Kevin Stefanski won Coach of the Year in the NFL last year. That does not mean that he's the best coach in the league. That means that Bill Belichick is still the best coach in the league. So Greg Popovich is the best coach in the league, and he has just an insurmountable of playoff experience. And DeMar DeRozan is just like, DeMar DeRozan is the second. No, he's the third. He's the third biggest All-Star snub, behind Jimmy Butler and Russell Westbrook. It's Butler, Russ, DeMar DeRozan, and then No, I don't want to think too much right now. Jimmy Butler, Russell Westbrook, DeMar DeRozan, those three. Lonnie Walker's great. DeJounte Murray's great. I just think the Spurs are just going to be way too much for the Grizzlies, and especially since the Grizzlies' last game was getting torched by the Warriors. I just don't think they're going to be able to come back from that. John Morant's probably going to have like 30-something points, but that's really all the Grizzlies have right now. Like, they need to get another player to come to Memphis and play with John Morant, because without another star player, the Grizzlies they're just not really that competitive of a team right now. And yeah. The Spurs. I think the Spurs are just kind of sort of that franchise, and they're gonna beat this Memphis team. Now, regardless, but it really doesn't even matter, because the Spurs are going to lose to the Warriors after the Lakers beat them tonight.